episode 3.
We're here. We made it.
Easy podcast, guys.
Hello.
Welcome back. And welcome to our first stream of consciousness.
This is going to be interesting. You're going to see how fucked up our minds are, but just a warning.
It's all improv. It's all like thoughts that are happening in our minds that we want to share with you guys because why not?
Why not?
And this week, our first thought that we agreed upon was slipping on ice.
You know, I hear a lot of people that live outside that don't have to deal with snow. They're like, oh, you guys are so lucky. You get to see the beautiful snow.
Yes,
when Christmas
skiing.
comes around, it feels like Christmas. You got to deal with ice. Over here, you got to deal with ice. And this thing is a silent killer. If you got black ice, you don't... Oh my God. You will... not even notice that's on the ground and you will slip and fall straight on your ass.
So I picked you up like last night.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And basically your driveway is like slightly slanted.
Yeah.
And everything is frozen. Everything has been like the temperature has been like melting all of the snow, becoming water, and then freezing and becoming ice.
Yeah, it's like an ice rink right now.
Pretty
honestly,
much everywhere.
Yeah.
And you were literally walking down to my car, and like I just saw you like. Like, what?
Walking turned into slipping, which turned into let me grab onto the car, which turned into okay, I'm alive. Yeah. Like, that's basically what happened. And then also, sometimes it happens in public in front of a lot of people. And that happened to me a little bit ago. I was walking with my friend Taylor outside, and it was like a few weeks ago now. And it was really, really bad. I didn't notice. The sidewalks were really small, and I fell straight on my ass. It was like in the cartoons when you see them slip on a banana peel. I went flying, and what's in my backpack? My laptop, so that's great. But I slipped and fell straight on my ass. And for me, I don't, like, whenever something like that happens to me, I don't feel pain. I just laugh. Because I'm out public. I laugh. So... I get, okay, I'm a turtle, right? At that point, I'm a turtle. I have my backpack on me. I'm turtling. So I get up finally, and I had like these two guys be like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, it was just surprising more than anything else. It was pretty sad.
I remember I was walking downtown once, and I don't know why that my brain registered that video in my mind, but there's a video of like Ariana Grande performing on stage, walking in high heels and slipping. And she yells out like, woo, girl!
Yes.
And I was walking downtown amongst a bunch of strangers, and I slipped on ice, and I went like, woo! Like the same kind of thing. And I turned red. Yeah. Like, people looked at me as if I had a problem. Yeah. Like, calm down.
It's all our problem.
Ice. Yeah. Everybody has to like dodge the ice today.
Oh my God.
Yeah, which is completely... shameful.
Yeah, those funny now. Okay, those video clips that you described, like where celebrities are like doing their mess ups or whatever. Some of them are able to play it off so great. Oh my God, remember that one? This is from a while ago now, where someone asked Demi Lovato what her favorite dish was,
and she goes, "A mug."
Yeah, mugs are really nice. No, but it would...
Yeah, instead of like answering like food, as in like a dish of something that we prepare. No, it's like, what's your favorite dish? A mug.
Oh, that had me
They're
dying.
Very comfortable and easy to handle.
Oh my God. Like, how do you bounce back from that? You like play it off as a joke? Like, what do you do?
I don't know. I think she said in her documentary, or like a video that accompanied her documentary, she was trying to make a joke, and obviously it didn't catch on. It didn't
land, yeah.
So nobody got it and just thought she was retarded. Yeah.
But
speaking of which, one thing that happened to me a few weeks ago, which I don't know why, but I guess it's a mixture of like both languages. I was speaking to somebody in French, and I was trying to translate the expression "a shot in the dark."
Oh my God! Yeah.
Like, you know, when you take a risk and you take a shot in the dark because you don't know what's going to come out of it. I tried to translate it, and roughly it came out in French.
Say it in French.
Well, I'll say it in English because, like, the wording.
No. Say it in French, and then we could translate it at the bottom, and then you could say it in English.
Well, basically.
Because in French it doesn't sound bad, but
it doesn't sound bad, right? So I'm like, ah ouais, tu peux lancer une roche dans le noir. Which is like, which means you can throw a rock in the dark. And then, like, I was working amongst a bunch of people who just burst out laughing when I said that. And I was so confident and, like, so sure that I even backed it up by saying, you don't know what you're gonna hit.
You don't know? And then we went through this whole thing of, like, so you don't know what you're gonna hit, and then we're trying to like mix it with some other things, and it's like, well, what if that rock, that stone, you could say, hits two birds? You hit two birds with one rock in the dark that you shot.
How to Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah.
And then like escalated to like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, because it's dark. Yeah, you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. Anyway, so that's our brains. Yeah, I think we have a problem.
You think?
I know.
I know too.
I think I know.
God, the amount of retarded things that we say sometimes. I mean, are we the only ones who are retarded? Like, we just all the time. Either we like say something that doesn't make sense, or like we're gonna mix two words together. Mm-hmm. Like, you know how they made up the word spork, which is like a foon. Yeah. A foon.
You just did it. Yeah, that's a foon.
I made a spoon and a fork.
Yeah,
a foon. Yes. You got a spork and a foon.
I can't believe you just did that in the moment. Oh my god. And then there's also what are they're like jeans and a skirt, like a
oh yeah. Or shorts and a skirt and shorts, a skirt.
A skirt. Yeah, there's a skirt.
Yeah. I definitely wear those.
You walk out with a skirt, like, hey, look at the backside. It's shorts. I've never worn those. Even when they were in, I never. No.
Why?
Is
it why that would uncomfortable?
I think it's meant to be comfortable. It's just, it's the equivalent of a mullet. Like, you got the skirt in the front.
Right.
You got the shorts in the back. It's just like, what is that? I don't know.
I remember a lot of people wearing it in the early 2000s.
Maybe
especially like
tennis
young
players
people.
Too.
True, yeah.
That's the vibe I always got off it. Like those white skirts are tennis. Like that's just tennis.
True. Which is a sport I never played, by the way.
That was a sport. This is interesting. That was a sport when I was younger. I always wanted to be, you know, like when you're thinking of like a career, I wanted to be a famous tennis player. Why? I don't know. And I never played tennis when I was that young, but I was always interested in it. And then picking it up later in life, like just playing with friends, I realize I'm not great. So maybe not. But it's fun. It's fun anyway.
Is it?
Yeah. I would say like in terms of those sports with a net, my favorites are, I feel like badminton is first. Then volleyball, and then probably tennis. Volleyball, I took a class in college, and it was so much fun.
I do remember, because I think I was across from you or something.
Yeah, it's possible.
Of course, I don't know. But I never liked that sport, because it...
Which one? Volleyball?
Volleyball, it damaged my hands all the time.
Yeah.
Like, every time you hit the ball, it's like, it hurts a lot.
Yeah, you gotta get used to it. Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah. Badminton I always loved, though. I don't know why. Like, making sure you hit the birdie. I don't know. I thought it was so much fun.
I always viewed tennis as like rich people sports.
Yeah.
Like somebody who's like
golf too.
Oh yeah, but then my family. No, my family kind of played golf, and we were like a medium.
Yeah, I think it's that like preppy look.
True.
That's associated with each of them.
Yeah.
That could probably be it. But yeah.
Like tennis is the sports you play in a rich family, and golf is the sport you play with like a business meeting.
It could be true. Yeah, still rich.
I think. Yeah.
Still rich, yeah.
CEO, like...
Yeah.
Like negotiating a contract with a supplier or something.
Yeah, over some golf, yeah.
Over some golf, yeah, why not?
Yeah. I've always wanted to go to a driving range.
Oh, you've never been to one?
When I was younger. Like, I couldn't even, like, hold a stick myself. Like, I was really, really young when my parents brought me. But, yeah, I always thought that'd be really fun.
I've done it a few times. I can't hit balls.
All right.
Okay, that kind of came out weird. I cannot. I have a.
I'm just picturing like a cat with a ball of yarn. Just like, anyways, why am I thinking of balls and cats? Okay.
Whoa.
Like, you know what I mean when like the cats.
Yeah. Okay.
Balls. Okay.
Okay.
A lot of sports have balls. You ever play dodgeball?
Yeah.
In the bedroom?
What? Okay.
This is where my brain takes me.
Usually you don't dodge them. Well,
Anywho,
I mean, unless it's been a very weird night and you're like, I'm too tired for this, then you dodge.
name another sport.
I used to play kinball when I was young.
What's that?
It's one of the, I think there's no other sport like that has 3 teams. And basically it's a huge ball.
Okay. Oh.
And it's like a few feet wide, like
Okay.
4 or 5. And basically the one team has to call out one of the other 2 teams to score. And the goal is for the ball not to fall on the ground or touch a wall, because if they do, then somebody scores.
Is that like when you're trying to keep like a balloon up in the air?
Yeah, pretty much.
Type of thing?
Yeah.
But a real sport?
Yeah, it's a real sport. It's called
That
kinball.
sounds-
I used to
sounds
compete.
cool.
Yeah, I used to do championships when I was younger.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
And so so how's it divided? It's like there's 3, like how do
There's
you...
no territory. Like anybody can play
No.
anywhere. It's just like one team will be in possession of the ball and
Yeah.
just like yell out the color of the other team that they're aiming for. Like for example, somebody has a lot of points. So
Okay.
you want to beat them
Yeah.
because they're the leading team in amongst the 3. So you yell out that name and then like somebody hits the ball and the other team has to catch it, and if they don't, you score a
Okay.
point over both other teams.
That sounds
Or
fun.
something like that, yeah.
What's a like a childhood game that you guys used to play in gym class that you miss?
Oh,
I have
God.
one that I could think of.
Which one?
Remember that huge sheet? Usually it was like a rainbow sheet, and you would lift it up and you would go underneath.
Yes, the cat and mouse game.
Cat and mouse, yeah.
Yes, I do remember
That game
that.
used to be fun as hell.
I wonder if they still do that in schools.
I wonder. I don't know. Yeah, I wonder what they do in gym class now.
That was fun. I mean, it damaged our knees.
Oh, it was so fun though.
But,
it was so
yeah.
fun. Did you guys have a jungle gym?
We did. Did you?
So awesome. Yeah.
Like a pull-out jungle gym
yes,
from the wall?
yes, from the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
that
are
was
fun. Those are fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think at some point I was good with the gymnastic hoops that you can like
Oh,
put
those
your
are
legs
cool,
in or
yeah.
like pull. That was fun.
Yeah. I remember having the monkey bars. That was always
Oh,
fun. I used to think it's crazy that these monitors used to let us do these types of things.
Yeah.
In the yard, there was like these 2 bars that they had like the ball that you could like hit the ball back and forth.
Oh, it's
What is that called? I remember you could like hit it and then it would come back and then yeah.
I used to own one. I used
Those
to
are
I would
fun.
bring it to school and like play.
Yeah. But then we would take out the ball or whatever it's called,
Mm-hmm.
and me and my friend Melissa, we've been in the same school since like kindergarten, and so we would go to the back and we go on the monkey bars, like we would hold on,
Right.
we would bring our legs up, hook them over, and be like going like upside down, hanging upside
Wow.
down.
Like gymnastics.
Yeah, then we would take our hands and like flip all the way around and then land
Like a
back on our
circus,
feet.
like trapeze kind of thing.
Yeah. And they let us do that.
Well, I remember having an accident where somebody fell on me while I was like passing through, like underneath the monkey bars. And like somebody just like
Like
dropped.
landed on you?
Yeah.
Oh
I was
my
like,
god.
what happened? Like on the
That's
ground,
scary.
just like.
I got attacked.
Yeah, I know that was retarded. I have so many incidents that I've had. I remember once I was swinging and like
Yeah.
in swings,
Yeah.
and I think the bell rang and I was trying to get off, but I couldn't get off quickly
Mm-hmm.
enough. So I literally just like jumped, but I was way too high and I fell down and like my leg, I couldn't feel it anymore.
No.
It was so bad, and I like was walking like a retarded, like in a retarded way. I was like, I can't walk. My leg is stuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
What a memory. Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. When I was a child.
That's scary. You were one of those cool kids that try to, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're gonna come back in a few seconds, and we're gonna play a game that you might find very interesting. So stay tuned. We'll be back after this short break. Well, guys, congrats for making it halfway through the podcast without falling asleep. You made it. Now we're taking a little break and we're suggesting that you follow us on social media to get to know us a little more.
So be sure to follow us on our Twitter and Instagram. Links will be down below.
All right, now back to the podcast. To play a game in which we're gonna basically pull
I
out
heard
some
here.
topics, random topics that we're gonna be able to discuss.
So what we did was we made a post and asked people to give suggestions for things that we could talk about on the podcast.
Yes.
So we have a few written over here. We also included our own, but we don't know what each other wrote. So
Yes.
what we're going to do is we're going to pick one up. And we're going to talk about it for as long as we want.
Yeah.
Once we get bored of the topic, pick up another one.
Stream of consciousness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stream of consciousness.
And if ever you guys want to participate, either in the comments of the video or the social media post that we're making, or if you don't want to share the topic, you just want, like, maybe it's a question you want to ask us, DM us.
Yeah,
Send
feel
us
free
direct
to DM.
messages.
Yeah.
Well.
Okay. Here you go, Zach.
Oh, I
Pick
go
one out.
first?
Yeah, pick
okay.
one out.
Wait, my hand doesn't fit.
Right?
Okay, hold up. I have,
out
like,
one.
3 fingers in.
No. Zach.
Oops. Oh, wow. Okay. How to deal with change.
How to deal with change.
Oh, that's a serious topic.
Yeah,
That's heavy.
okay. So, it's a good one though.
Yeah.
So, well, you've been going through some change with work.
Yes.
So, how have you been dealing with that?
Good question. I don't know. I jumped into it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think about it. Like, things like that, because we did talk about anxiety in the previous episode.
Yeah.
Like, there are some changes that are positive, and those don't worry me as much. And so I just jump into it, try to plan ahead of time, like,
Yeah.
visualize what it's going to be like.
As much as you can, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's important to mentally prepare for when a change is coming. Like, don't
Yeah.
try to avoid it until it comes, and then you freak out.
But don't plan too much.
Yes, that's
because
another
if you plan too much, you have expectations that you're building, and then if you don't like reach the point that you were aiming for, you're kind
You
of
feel
disappointed.
kind of yeah. So, I think it's very important just to go with the flow. Changes could be a good thing. Even, for example, a breakup
Yes.
could be a good thing. You know what I mean? So any kind of change in your life, there's so many aspects to life. There's relationships, there's friends, there's school, there's work, there's so many things that we do in a daily life that things are bound to change.
Yes.
Every now and then, you know?
Yeah.
It's all about I guess being open to the idea of change, because I know a lot of people are very comfortable with how things are, that the thought of change scares them.
Yeah.
Which I think is very normal also.
It does.
For some people it excites
is.
them. Yeah, for some people it excites them. For some people it's a scary thought. But don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it.
Also, one tip that I don't know if it's a tip I would give to people, but at least that's how I deal with it. And it's not, a lot of people say it's not healthy, but whatever. I just make jokes all the time. I'm very sarcastic.
Yeah.
Dark humor.
Yeah.
So, like, something is going to happen that's very negative. Like, I went through a breakup recently. But one of the first comments that I made to the people I was with in the moment was like, well, guys, good news. You're going to have more sex stories to come out that are going to come up.
Which
Because
is
I'm
funny.
just well known as, like, the whore in the group.
Zach is the whore.
I'm the whore. Well, I shouldn't be yelling that. That's not flattering at all.
It's like used out of context. Like, great.
Yeah. It's like, quote of 2019, Zach is a whore. Great.
But see, that's the type of humor. It's like
Yeah.
it's not to be taken seriously, and I think it's very important too. This is kind of like off subject. Is that when people make dark jokes or use words in a way that could be offensive to others, I think it's very important. I learned this recently. I think it's very important that you understand the context behind it.
Yes.
And if it's not meant to be hurtful, then I don't feel like it's anyone's place to make it seem that way.
Yeah.
Like, if someone says something, like, for example, Kevin Hart and not hosting the Oscars because of jokes he's made in the past and is already...
About sexuality.
Yes, yeah. And he's already come to the LGBTQ the community and has apologized in the past for these things. I think it's unfair for the Oscars and the media to try and control his context and what he meant out of it.
Yeah.
It's a joke, and it's not like he's hating this community.
Yeah.
He was simply making a joke, and also words that some people may find offensive. I don't know if I could think of one, but
Well, times have changed.
Times have changed,
The words that were said before were more socially accepted because the people in the minorities didn't have that much of a voice. But now they've expressed their opinions and how they feel about it, and people are reacting to it and changing their ways.
Yeah.
And it's part of the evolution of society. Like, people are going to gain voices, they're going to voice their opinions and their thoughts, and people are going to adapt. But yeah, you have to give people a chance and time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And also just see where they're coming from. Don't be so like condescending and feel like it's your place to say what they meant.
Yeah, it's like twisting the knife.
Yeah.
Like, it's not necessary.
It's
it just
not
makes the
necessary.
situation even worse because now you're bringing up a topic, which by the way is like putting a spotlight on something that's bad, and people could like literally take that bad part and just repeat the process after.
Right.
You're basically twisting the knife, and that's pointless.
It's pointless. And I applaud Kevin Hart for handling it the way that he did. He said, "No, look, I've expressed how I felt about this. I'm not gonna go through with it, and they're just gonna go without a host now."
Yeah.
Which is whatever, you know? Just stand up for what you truly mean. Don't go back on your word. If you meant something, don't try to twist it just to please other people.
Yeah.
So that was a bit off topic, but
That was cool. We should go for another topic. Yeah, I like this segment.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, go, because my hand doesn't fit.
Mine hardly does. Okay, let's pick it up. Let's see. What did I get? Oh, this is a bit of a long one.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
This is going to be interesting.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay. How do you cope with your feelings when everything feels like it is going to shit?
Oof.
Especially, I feel like this is especially a good topic for you, not because
I'm the perfect example. Of everything going to shit.
I feel like it's more... Zach is notoriously known for when something, like one thing happens in your life, other things are just going to follow suit.
Oh, yeah.
But then you come out...
Yeah. Everything happens at the same time or nothing at all.
I think we spoke about this in the first episode that we did. Yeah, we did. So
because of the last week in January that I was forced to move out at the same time that I lost my wallet / got it stolen.
Yep.
And I had a flat on my car.
Yep.
And I had to go for an appointment without like my driver's license, and the only thing I had left was like my phone, and like I had no documents whatsoever, no cards to pay whatsoever.
It's basically you were living your life 1 second, someone's like, fuck you, and then like flips everything on its head and expects you to walk with your head.
You know the snowballs that you kind of shake?
Yes,
but it's like,
yeah,
just leave it upside down.
It's just gonna stay there now.
Fuck.
This is your life. So
yeah,
what do you do in moments like that? Because I see for you especially, you're able to bounce back from it so well.
Oh,
so I think people, if you say your story, maybe people will gain something.
Well, usually when I'm put under a lot of pressure, I just stop giving a fuck. Like, that's pretty much the only thing I do. I remember in that week I was doing, it was basically a pretend audition for the TV and radio school that I was finishing at the time. Mm-hmm. And basically, it's a kind of thing you have to prepare for. You can't just invent anything. But honestly, that week had been so bad because of, like, the being forced to move out in less than a week, and losing everything that I had plus a flat, and like literally running around like a crazy nonsense schedule. And I showed up not prepared, not caring, went into the room, performed the audition, and then the fun part was we were all watching our auditions after.
Yeah.
But I got a good result and good feedback.
Oh, okay.
Because I just didn't care. So apparently I seemed natural in front of the camera, and
that makes sense.
I took topics that I knew beforehand, which made it easier, and I just went into things that I was like, I didn't care, and I went for things that I knew.
Yeah.
So
that's
like
smart.
when you start not caring in periods that you're way too stressed, and you just like whatever happens, it helps a lot.
Yeah, because you're not putting so much pressure, I could imagine. You're not putting so much pressure on yourself and what's going on in your life, that you're able to... Because you have to remember, when you feel like you've hit rock bottom, you will make it back up.
You can't go lower.
You can't... Exactly. You can't go lower, and...
But I mean, unless like life goes,
Another
fuck
thing.
you too.
Yeah, and it just keeps happening.
Wow, you dodged my plans. We're gonna make it worse.
It just continuously, But I think it's very important to always kind of stay hopeful, but also remain like, well, whatever happens. I have to continue living my life.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Life
goes on.
It's gonna pick back up. Time heals all, even though it's so cliche to say. I can really stand by that. And it's just important to not fail in your responsibilities. Like, if you have responsibilities, don't just let go of everything. Like, just because your life feels like it's going to shit, there's always people going through so much more, and that's not to say yours don't matter, but just put things into perspective and know that you'll be able to make it out of this. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. And then the other thing, like I just said before, humor helps a lot.
It does. I'm sure.
I in my life is a joke. So basically, I even like started writing stand up recently. I was watching a lot of stand up, and I kind of got inspired, and I was like, well, I might as well try it and give it a shot. And yeah, so I just take the funny parts of my life, and often the funny stories are going to be so entertaining.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. You got to be able to twist the negative parts of your life and make it a positive. So for example, if you're somebody who's like very creative or very artistic, you take a bad story, a bad breakup or whatever, you write a song about it, or you make a poem out of it, or just like a text. Or you write stand-up, you make jokes about it, and you make other people laugh. So at least you're converting that negative energy to something positive.
Too good. Yeah, where people can laugh at. Yeah.
Yeah, and often, especially from places that are very dark, it brings out beautiful lessons of life and morals that you can share with other people. Like, for example, my father passed away a few years ago, and that was a very difficult time.
Right.
But at the same time, I prefer to look at it as an opportunity, because you can't control the fate. Like, if somebody's gonna pass away, nothing can change. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the reality. You have to accept it. You can fight for it. That's a different thing. If you see there's an opportunity, but when you have, like, for example, a final diagnosis, there's nothing you can do. So instead of being completely drawn into this dark place, well, you try to learn the positive from it. Like, there's so many beautiful lessons that I learned throughout that whole process. So a lot of it is like perspective. Yeah. You have to be able to change your perspective on things, and to just be ready to give up on certain things and to pay a cost, knowing that it's going to come out even better.
That's it. Yeah. I think that's a really good way to cope with things. Yeah. So
I think so. Yeah.
So do you want to go into our red flags and green flags?
Sure thing. So as we started last time, we're going to go through flags, the things that we just want to mention that we're like thankful for. My
These are the negatives,
red
the red
flag,
flags,
was I recently hooked up with somebody, and they blocked me after hooking up. Which, I mean, it was good. It was fun. I don't know what I did wrong, but the person just blocked. I'm like ghosted. Like,
ghosting is pretty shitty.
Yeah, and I was like, oh.
Boo.
Oh well.
Boo.
I guess I must have done something too good or too bad. I don't know which one.
Too kinky. No.
Did I do something too much? Anyway, so yeah, that was my red flag. But no fucks given.
I have one. So my HR teacher, I love this teacher. She brought up, we have like recruitment fairs at school, you know, like career days or whatever, where different companies come. And my school lets this company called Mind Geek, which I'm going to insert a picture of their logo, where they try to recruit as many people, get as many applicants. You know, they say they're a business solutions company, whatever. You go to their website, same thing. Turns out they're a porn company. And they basically mislead young kids to, I guess, join this company. Yeah, so it's it made me really uncomfortable.
We're gonna quickly go through our positive green flags. Mine is board games. I've been getting into board games more and more with friends, including you, recently, and it feels good to like let go of like digital stuff like YouTube and video games,
right?
So focus on board games and have that social interaction
and mental, stimulating. Speaking of which, for me, it's been beating the hardest escape room at one of the escape room buildings here. So satisfying, and you get to do it with friends. It's socializing, it's fun, and
Oh, that's nice. So cool. I love escape games. They're so much fun.
We have to do another one soon.
I know, and I've done a lot of them too. I've been to a bunch of different places. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for having stayed during the whole podcast, and hope we see you very, very soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.